And then it was kind of like panic set in, so it was like fight or flight.
Guess whose cup magically got refills of grape soda and Fleischmann's?
In a shocking turn of events, this leads to poor decisions.
I went to a party school for undergrad, and every May students got trashed at this all-day block party as a way to blow off steam before final exams. In my freshman year, I never made it to the block party because I pre-gamed too hard. It was the middle of the afternoon, and before heading to the block party, my friends and I decided to play some drinking card games in our dorm room. Now, I made the mistake of letting my friend's boyfriend make my drink. He made me a cup that was about 40% grape soda and 60% Fleischmann's. We played several rounds of 99 waterfall. The first person out of the game is at the bottom of the waterfall, while the last person out is at the top of the waterfall. How long you're supposed to drink depends on the order that people got out of the game. The person at the top of the waterfall can drink for as long as he or she wants. Once they're done, the second person in the waterfall can stop drinking. Guess who's at the bottom of the waterfall every single time? Guess whose cup magically got refills of grape soda and Fleischmann's? Many waterfalls later, I was happy, drunk, and not entirely sure which way is up or down. At that point, my friends decided that we were ready to go to the block party. "Just give me 1 second," I said, stepping out of the room. I clutched the wall as I made my way to the bathroom, which was literally 2 steps from the door, but it felt like 2 miles. I could feel something rising in my throat, and I panicked, thinking, I'm not gonna make it. I threw open the stall door, but I missed my target. You know that scene in Stand By Me where the winner of the pie eating contest projectile vomits blueberries onto the other contestants? It was like that, except mine was purple and it painted the wall behind the toilet. In my drunken state, I ripped some toilet paper off the roll and tried to wipe down the wall, but it only smeared the purple and made it look like some bizarre attempt at Van Gogh's Starry Night.
So before my freshman year of college, I pretty much never drank before, except for this one time when my friend and I were seniors in high school and we took some of her parents' vodka into her basement and watched 16 Candles while I rolled around on the floor shouting, "Pray for me." Now besides that time, I pretty much had never drank before, so my tolerance is pretty low, but I went kinda nuts on my first semester trying to make up for lost time. I had a lot of fun, let's just say. I went to school at a place that had different areas of campus that kind of had different party levels, and where I lived was called the Quad, and there were 10 houses there. We had my house, which was called Morrow, and the house across from it, which was called Gardner, and they mirrored each other, so our houses just happened to also be rivals, which was not very good because knowing your entire rival's house layout plan can like really backfire. One night, my friends and I got drunk. Imagine me, 125 pounds soaking wet, with like pretty much zero tolerance for alcohol, drinking a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice by myself, and then continuing to drink hard alcohol after that. So yeah, I was shit-faced. I was just shit-faced. So obviously, being shit-faced, my friends and I decided that we would break into their house. I must have been blackout drunk because the next thing I remember is in the early hours of the morning, waking up on the floor of what I thought was my house. I was down at the end, kind of on a window seat. So I went to my room and I saw 408, and it didn't really register to me that the things hanging on the door were not my things hanging on the door. I just kind of brushed right past that and walked in, and there was some dim lighting, and I was like, oh wow. Nothing belonged to me. Nothing in the room was mine, and it kind of took a second to click. But as soon as I realized what was going on, I also realized that there were 2 girls having sex in this bed, in this room. And then it was kind of like panic set in, so it was like fight or flight. They didn't even see me. They didn't even hear me. They didn't respond. I don't know if they just didn't care. I was panicking. So I quietly backed away. I closed the door, said, okay, clearly I am in Gardner. I need to go back across the Quad tomorrow and never fucking talk about this ever again.
Okay, so this one time I got super drunk. In a shocking turn of events, this leads to poor decisions. So there's this party, parents away, fantastic. There's lots of vodka, I don't know whose it is, but it's going in my mouth. And one of my friends is all like, wouldn't it be hilarious if you kissed my boyfriend? This same friend also at one point played a prank on one of our other friends by calling them up and saying that she had a threesome with me and her boyfriend. In retrospect, I have a few questions for this friend of mine, but let's just move on. Cause I'm like super drunk and full of vodka. I think, yeah, no, that would be funny. So I kiss him, no big deal. Haha, no, it's a massive deal. Problem was, at the time, I was kind of seeing a girl. Now I say kinda in that we weren't an official thing. They did actually say at some point and agreed on that, you know, we could actually explore options outside of each other and that would be okay. In theory. In practice, she gets super upset. So therefore, I'm upset. I've hurt this person that I really care about and that's really bad. Also really bad is the hangover. By really bad, I mean the worst I've ever had in my life by far. I wanted to literally lay down, vomit, and then subsequently die. Didn't vomit, but I wanted to. You know what the greatest slap in the face is? As I was nursing the worst hangover of my life, while also emotionally distraught at how I'd horribly hurt someone that I deeply cared about, I had to go film a documentary about love. I'm hand-holding a camera as I move between a crowd of people as they talk on and on and on about love and relationships, while I'm too busy thinking about 1, not dying, 2, my own failed relationship. I literally cannot think of a less enjoyable environment to be in, so needless to say, I've never actually managed to get that drunk any time afterwards in my life, and I think I've learned my lesson.
Hi, thank you for watching this episode of One Time Stories. Just a couple of quick things. Number one, we have decided to extend the deadline for the open call for the theme In My Hometown to October 12th. So if you haven't submitted your story to onetimestories.com/tell-a-story, do that now. Secondly, I'm going to be at NerdCon Stories next week. If you happen to be going and don't know what I'm going to be doing, I've put a schedule in the description below. It includes a storytelling circle that apparently over 100 people are going to. It's gonna be a big circle. See you guys next time.